What is up, my ninjas? I'm Strydent, and welcome to another video. So, remember this chick here on my right? Remember all the controversy? Remember how everybody said, I shouldn't say everybody, but a couple people, Skellywags and his friend specifically, argued with me about objectivity and subjectivity. So supposedly I was wrong about my critique of this figure right here with this face. You know, it's not a bad face, but it's not Astronema's face. It's not Melody Perkins' face. It doesn't even remotely resemble Melody Perkins, right? It doesn't have any type of personality, nothing, just a face. Okay, well, so I was so wrong. Hasbro went back, did a second Astronema, another one of her looks, some of the same gear that you see here, it's just she doesn't have the armor. But look at that face. It looks more like Melody Perkins. If I was so off, why would the company that made the figure turn around and go back and fix the face instead of just, repackaging this figure, sans armor, and give it different hair? You see, there's a problem in the action figure collecting community when it comes to likenesses. Everybody thinks that they know what a proper likeness looks like, but very few really do. I mean, and they prove it time and again and again and again. You see it with custom head sculpts that people do of like their favorite stars. You see them like, especially in like the Hot Toys community. There's tons of like Chinese sculptors that do really high end, well painted, well sculpted sculpts, but the sculpts don't actually look like the actors. It's like when you reach the uncanny valley. You try too hard to make it look like someone, and then you miss the nuances, the subtleties that actually make that person's, makes the likeness appear to be the person that it's, intended to be. That was not the case with this. But you do see, this was just a flat out, they didn't try. This is like when Hasbro did the early Avengers figures, and I think they didn't have likeness rights or permission to use the likenesses of all the actors, especially Chris Evans. So you got this kind of sort of like from certain angles it resembles the guy and all this other stuff, but needless to say, now seeing them side by side, it's obvious what was lacking from the first attempt. So you can't say Papa Strydent didn't learn you right. I spend the time explaining to you details and, objectivity. Objectively, this is still not a perfect likeness, don't get me wrong, but it's, 1,000% closer to Melody Perkins' attitude as the character. You remember the footage I showed you in that video I did, and it's more. And it's more on point with the shape of her face. I mean, look at the difference. Look at the chin on both of them. That chin is just full. This chin kind of comes to a point a little bit more. It's where the cheekbones are on this. She had very pronounced cheekbones. The lack of cheekbones, of pronounced cheekbones on this one. It's so many things. So many things. The nose, everything is just, this isn't even in the right ballpark. This is in the right ballpark. And this isn't even the best part of the set, because this was part of a set. Ecliptor back here. Best part of the set. Very awesome villain. I shouldn't even say villain. He's kind of a villain slash anti-hero because of his role in the story. But they did a really good job with this figure. You know, he looks really good. I was kind of impressed to see them, you know, do what they did with him because, you know, he's kind of a very straightforward, somewhat basic design. Actually, let me get her out of here. She doesn't even really deserve the screen time. Let's put these two together because that's the team. That's the duo right there. Semi father daughter duo, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video highlighting something that I showed you and then I got, you know, backlash for. And then Hasbro turned around because apparently I would imagine that Melody Perkins saw her figure and was like, yeah, that shit doesn't look right. That doesn't look like me. I mean, they didn't capture Melody's body type. They didn't do the pants legs of the suit because she wears a suit with pants legs and then like black heels with thick heels, you know? And they didn't bother to do that. I guess that's too sexy. I don't know. Too sexy, too sexy, too sexy. No, 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 no. Too sexy. But I don't know. I can live with this. What they were doing before, nah, that's gonna be a botched clone or something like that because that shit was awful. But anyway, I will probably be doing a review or like something like this, like a quick review in camera of this set. It's one of the better sets recently. She has personality, and then Ecliptor is just spot on. So, you know, they deserve props for that. I've said before that the Lightning collection is bridging the gap between, you know, import figures and, you know, domestic figures. They're doing a really good job giving us, you know, more articulation and, um, you know, range of motion. You know, as Sam kept pointing out with the classified stuff, classifieds have more points of articulation, but it's not all functional articulation. It's there, but it doesn't all function on all you know figures in that line. Whereas in the Lightning collection, the articulation that's here all functions. You know what I mean? It all is in service to getting them in kung fu-y martial arts poses and shit, you know, and tokusatsu poses and shit. So, you know, they're doing some good things there. And this isn't to take anything away from the classifieds. Since my video I did a year or two back when the classifieds first started, I've ended up with quite a few. I want to say I have like 13 of these figures. Um, I'm not going fully down that rabbit hole. These are all just favorites and stuff I found cool that I was like, hey, let me check this out. And then a bunch of them, the majority of them were gifts. So, you know, I do respect what they're doing with that line, and that was never the problem. I just wish they would do those same things in 4-inch scale, and then they'd blow us away because they'd be like, shit, this is like Marauders quality or Joy Toy level quality, or you know, even more durable than Joy Toy stuff. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. These guys right here, this particularly this Astronema is all kinds of improvement over the last one. And I'm kind of anxious to see what the usual suspects have to say about the figure, since they've already told us that the previous one, you know, this thing right here, is perfect. This thing that doesn't resemble the actress at all is perfect. I mean, this looks like some girl that you might know in your hometown cosplaying as Astronema, you know? And this isn't to say that Astronema was like the most beautiful chick. I mean, she's hot. I'm not going to lie. The actress is hot. She's got a unique look. It's not hard to capture, you know, a beautiful person. And I've seen Hasbro struggle with this as if they have favorites and they try to dumb down certain people in figure form and then try to prop up others like Salma Hayek in Eternals, her figure looks kind of like her, but they didn't really play up how beautiful that woman is. They didn't play up how built that woman is. But then on Angelina Jolie, who's really scrawny and just happens to have kind of like, you know, kind of the typical wafy look. I mean, she's in good shape, don't get me wrong, but she's on the skinny side. They made her look busty and thick and so beautiful. Meanwhile, Salma Hayek, who is, you know, right up there with Jolie in the face department with the beauty, but then body wise, she blows Angelina Jolie out the water. Her figure doesn't look like anything. You know what I mean? Like there's a conscious effort there to dumb down, you know, certain things. You know, there's sex appeal with this character. Not that I'm saying that we got to get all pervy and shit, but I'm just saying the design and the actress, she carried herself with a level of like sexiness that typically you don't see in American tokusatsu. You see it in Japanese tokusatsu all the time because oftentimes the villainesses will be, you know, former adult film stars or whatever they call them, JV idols or some shit like that. What was that one show? It's one of my favorites. Akiba Ranger, actually. The villain in that show, or at least the kind of sort of villain in the beginning of the series, was played by a Japanese porn actress. And I didn't know. I'm well over my you know Japanese girl or Asian girl fetish. I used to have that whole thing going on when I was in like high school, beginning of college, and you know I got over it. you know, but you know, people promptly explained to me what the appeal is, and you know how this is a common thing. And then I look back at certain Super Sentai, and I found that it is common. So you know, seeing her do it on American television, and it was a little subdued in comparison to the way it is on Japanese television. It was still kind of nice because it made her stand out. You know, you have her next to like Divatox or something, and like Divatox just feels very, you know, meh. She just feels like a over the top female villain. She doesn't carry herself with anything more. She's more comedic, I guess, is what I'm saying. Whereas she was serious, not the best actress. Don't get me wrong, but she was more on the serious side, and her story was more compelling than Divatox and some of the others. So I don't know. It stuck out. It stood out to me, and the figure deserved better for the first outing. Considering that this was also in a 2-pack. You know, it makes no sense that they did such a shit job with the likeness, and that's with her. That's what you have. You know what I'm saying? Is a likeness. You need a likeness. That's how we can identify with the character. I mean, the gear tended to change from episode to episode. That was one of her things. Her hair would change and what she wore would change. But, the face, the likeness, the attitude needed to be there, and it's not here. But it is on that one. So this was me just doing my I told you so dance. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. And, you guys have been great as always. And I will catch you on the next video. So, yeah, peace outside.